Alright, today I'm going to start the first job right out the gate is a 2020 and above Explorer. This is a 21 Explorer. It only has like, how many miles on it? 22,000 miles. I'm going to show you the sound. There's popping and clicking coming from the back of these Explorers. And then I'm going to explain a little bit more afterwards. So what I'm going to have John do is I'm going to have him put the vehicle in reverse, hold the brake. You heard that click? Now go back forward. Oh, forward. Heard that click again? Do it in reverse again. Now go back forward. Hit the gas a little while holding the brake. Hey, that. Now do it again in reverse, same thing. It's happening right here behind this hub where the CV axle goes into the bearing. Let's pop this cap off real quick. Now I got the cap off. Let's see if we hear a difference. Go ahead. Sometimes you gotta load it up too, man. There it goes. There it is again. There it is again. All right. Now, what's the fix for this? There is really no fix, to be honest with you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this knuckle assembly apart, and I'm going to replace both CV axles on both sides. The clicking is going to go away for about 6 months. It's going to come right back. There is no fix. If you remember the body style with the 2.7 liter V6 Fusion Sport, it would do the same thing kind of, except it was a clicking, tapping sound, tinging sound, and it was in slow parking lot maneuvers that would make that same sound. You'd have to pull the knuckle and stuff out of the way, pull the shim off the end of the CV axle, which I have a video in the library on, and then you have to re-shim it, torque everything back down, and then it would quit. Or there ain't no shims on these CV axles. And it's just making this tinging, tapping sound back there. I bet you if I took all the pressure off of this, you know what I should do is spin that axle nut loose and let you go back in there, take some pressure off the end of that axle nut, and see if it still does it when I loosen it up a little bit. Let's do that real quick. All right, go ahead. Go back. All right, so this one quit doing it, John. Hey, my theory was right. It's the fucking torque on this nut back here. It's either too much or it's too loose. That's what's going on with this thing. Now it's not popping anymore. Let's go over to the other side. Let me show you real quick. I'm gonna go do the other side. Hey, look at this. Passenger side. What's up? Hey, go ahead, John. Where are you going? Go ahead.
Axle?
Yeah, but watch. You be a little bit more aggressive with it. There it is. Now do it again the other way. There it is. All right. Stop. Hold on. Stay in there. Do it again. Again. Fucking tap's gone.
Huh?
Tap's gone.
Jesus.
The other side was doing the same thing. Now that's the grunt of the brakes. The tap's not there anymore. The ting's gone.
Yeah.
Do it again. That's brakes.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, Ting's gone. It's the way they're having us torque these fucking CV axles through the hub. It's either too tight or too fucking loose. They'll come in here and they're tinging inside the hole where that nut is grabbing the CV axle and pulling it up against the back of the bearing. You loosen up the bearing, knock it in a few, like a couple, centimeters, millimeters, whatever, yeah, just to kind of get it, to move, and then reseat it and pull the CV axle nut back into it. The Ting's gone. And when you put new CV axles, then it comes back a few months later doing the same thing anyway. Really, what needs to happen to eliminate that is we're going to have to pull the nut, knock the CV axle loose, lubricate the splines, and then retighten everything back up. Replacing it is not fixing it.
No, you're gonna have to do that.
And Nissan or somebody had that same problem with their CV axles in the front. They kept popping and tinging all the times, and the fix for it was through investigation, removing the CV axle nuts, lubricating the splines, and putting new CV axle nuts on, not replacing the CV axles, because that doesn't change anything.
No, it sounds like it's already been replaced.
To me, they need an SSM out on this, because all these Explorers are doing this. Yeah, even passenger ones I'm starting to notice when I pull them out of the parking spots to bring them in, they're doing the same thing now.
Do they have any messages at all? Anything?
No.
Wow.
Alright, so I've got both the CV axle nuts off of there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the old nut, put it back on there a couple threads, maybe 4, 5, 6 threads, and then just give it a nice light. See how it's moving, bouncing back and forth now? That's loose. And you didn't really damage the nut, you didn't do any of that, but that's okay. So then what we're going to do, we're going to pull the nut off here and we're going to blow all this hole out, all this little residual stuff that came out with the nut, and blow it out. See, it's got a little bit of a light surface rust inside there. You can't see it too well, but it's there. Then I'm going to take a little spritz, just a WD-40, top and bottom. That's all I need, is enough to let it start creeping back in there. Same thing on the other side. That's it, just a little spritz, top and bottom. Now that it's been sitting for about 5 minutes, let's go ahead and blow some of that through there. Okay. I've got a coworker of mine holding that right there with a pry bar, holding the eccentric. You see how the oil made it all the way back through there? That's what we wanted. Let me see if I can. The oil made it all the way through. And now what we need to do is we need to lubricate those splines. And what I'm going to use is I'm going to use some drive shaft PTFE. Really, you need like one of those acid brushes to put this stuff on there. Let it go forward. Yeah, you need like one of those little acid brushes to put this stuff on. I went and found one of those little metal acid. I think they call these acid brushes or something like that. Let's see if I can stick my hand in here and. Alright, see what I got going on here? Is I got a rag in there and a pick, and I'm actually, go ahead, spin the tire. And I'm wiping off that tone ring to make sure there's no grease on that tone ring back there behind it, and it's done. Did the same thing on the other side. This one's all torqued and put back together. Did the same thing over here, wiped off the tone ring, and you can see how it's lubed all the way back in there. The PTFE, axle bearing grease will work too. Something cheap. I just don't use enough of this PTFE, so I said, what the hell, why not? Nice testing experience. If you're looking for the axle nut for these, it's LB5Z, 3 Bravo 477 Alpha. All right, I got one of my coworkers going to go in right now after everything's lubed and torqued down and put back together, and we're going to try it again.
I know, that's the problem. You just fucking blow it.
Just go normal at first. No, just normal at first, dude. Just put it in reverse and then put it in drive a couple times. There that is. There that is. Go drive. There's drive. There's drive. Yeah, the popping's gone. All right, try a little brake torque, but don't get too crazy. Yeah, that's brake grunt. That's not tapping no more. Go the other way. All right, that's it. That's suspension grunt and brake grunt. That has nothing to do with that tinging popping anymore. Well, that fixed the tinging popping sound. So it fixed the concern. No more noise coming from the CV axles in the rear. No, none of that. I actually reached out to a contact of mine that I have. Not going to give any names or anything like that. He did some research for me and let me know that there is actually a pending TSB that basically stated exactly what I just said verbatim. That the problem is the surface tension that's built up between the CV axle and the wheel bearing, and you have to break that tension, clean everything up, lubricate it, pull the CV axle back through, and retorque everything back down, and that fixes the problem. I feel pretty damn good. I mean, that's got to make you feel good, knowing that you chose the path that you thought was right based on just experience and stuff in general, and then come to find out there's been a TSB pending to be released since December of 21 on the very concern that you're dealing with, and you've never even seen it. That is the fix. So I just want to let you guys know, customer concern addressed, fixed, and now they can come get their vehicle. No more vehicles down for days when there's a simple fix like this. Y'all take care, be blessed. Look for that TSB. When it comes out, I'll let you know. And I'm actually going to go resubmit for a global service bulletin on these vehicles to try to push the matter even further so we can hurry up and get that TSB. So we can start doing these without getting in trouble or having to get approvals. We already know. We don't have to go reach out or write special stories, perform TSB, blah, 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 per, workshop manual instructions. Customer concern fixed. Give them the vehicle back. Y'all take care. Be blessed.